one lap at a time. 24 hours to climb. Sean setting fuel, Amir's checking tires. I'm just here trying to tame the fire. Not real cars, tell that to my hands. Shaking like I'm on the grid at Le Mans. Breathe in, one blink, countdown's on. Been training all week, now the doubt is gone. Sean's on stints, 1 and 3's ice cold mind. Amir's taking night shift, third eye blind. I'm just watching the split, my heart in the loop. This ain't just pixels, this is my truth. Pits map tight, strat set clean, but you can't script chaos in a 24 dream.
No break to the soul, no pause when it hurts. You either die at the wheel or you live in the dirt. Don't close your eyes, the storm has begun. Hold on tight, here comes the ride.
This is the moment, this is the fight. One shot, one chance, one endless night. Sean on the left and Amir on the line. We bleed through the ring just to cross that sign. No fear, no breaks, no giving in. We were born to burn, we were built to win.
So light it up and trust the climb. We're chasing glory, one lap at a time.
Green flag drops, we launch like rage. Lunging in tight on turn 3 stage. Traffic in chaos, brake light rain. Half a second wide and you kiss the pain. But Sean's like steel cold calculated. Slips through gaps like time's been faded. Amir calls fuel, voice clear in the dark while I'm battling thoughts in a high-speed ball. My wrist cramps, I clench, shoulders gone stiff, but I ain't quitting now, nah, I live for this shift. This is the pressure, this is the grind. One shot, one road, one chance. Yo, this wheel's my weapon, this chair's my stage. Sean's at the wheel and Amir's uncaged. We don't sleep, we reload, refocus. Every lap's truth, every corner's opus. Pit crew blood, adrenaline drip. Reset my soul with every grip. Don't need fame, don't want fake cheers. I race through fire, I face my fears.
Don't you break when the silence grows. Don't you blink when the red light goes. You better lose yourself in the light of the zone. One chance to rise, one line to own. The ring, the rush, the world you know. You only get one shot, so bring it home, bring it home.
Can't pause this pain, can't mute my name. I don't play for fun, I race through flame. Disconnected, now I'm mind dialed in. While they scroll feeds, I go for the win. This ain't fake, this ain't pretend. It's me plus my brothers, lap to the end. Got fuel in my blood, I burn through doubt. And if I crash, I'll crawl it out.
Don't let go, let the engine cry. Even ghosts can learn to fly. You better lose yourself in the moment alone. Every lap you run carves you in stone. One crew, one fight, one path unknown. You only get one shot, so bring it home, bring it home. They won't see the sweat inside your soul, but this is your road, your rig, your control. So light it up, don't fade away. This is your legacy, this is your race. You better lose yourself in the rhythm and roar. This is your fire, you are so much more. Shine in a mirror, we were born to drive. We don't just race, we
Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to the Pit Stop. I'm Sean Cole. That is Amir Assad over there. And how are you all doing this morning? Amir, how are you this morning?
Oh my god, dude. I'm still riding that high from the Sim Gaming Expo. Oh my god, man. I mean, dude, it was such a tremendous event. It was by far one of the best experiences I've ever had. Yeah. How about you, man?
I am still riding that high as well. Sim Gaming Expo was better than I could have anticipated in every possible way. There's not one thing that I came home thinking, oh, they could have done this better. No, it was an incredible show. I am a pessimist at heart. So year one of a trade show for a micro niche of the gaming industry, I did have fear. I had fear that would be 30 exhibitors, 100 YouTubers, another 30 perhaps, general people, and that's it.
Right.
That's what I really was expecting or ready for. I kind of prepare for the worst, but I do also hope for the best, and that's what I think we got. It was the 30 vendors, and they were on fire. They all had good setups and were ready to perform for the audience, which is awesome. And then, I don't know the total count, but what, thousands of people?
No, there was over 2,000.
Over 2,000
Over 2,000 people.
That is insane. And the 100 YouTubers. Because they were all there, or a good amount of them. Tom Jones! Hold on. Tom Jones, $2. Matt Malone told you to give me this. Well, you know what's awesome is, and we're going to get to this because it's my top story. Tom, you're not going to have to do $2 for FPS anymore. Those days have come to an end. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's continue on with the Sim Gaming Expo. So, you liking the purple? We got the purple glow. I'm doing that for Amir's daughter. I learned why his paint schemes are... Okay, let's start there.
Okay.
I've known Amir for 10 years-ish. And we've been working together for 4? How long have we been working together now?
A little over... close to 5, yeah.
Okay. We've never met in person. We've had countless amounts of hours on Skype video and Discord chat and whatnot. Never met in person. And I got to meet Amir in person. Well, you see it in the thumbnail of today's show. That is the picture of us at the Sim Gaming Expo together. Maybe I should bring up Sim Gaming Expo pictures while we're at it.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's see if I can cue this up.
I switched to purple too.
Now, what you got the instant. That's an interesting picture to have stopped on. Interesting.
I know, right?
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. So yeah, we've known each other for a very, very long time, and finally get to meet in person. And it goes beyond Amir because I got to meet a lot of people, a lot of the pit crew as well, and it changes everything. I, of course, can't...
Yeah.
Wait, here we go. I'm scrolling the wrong direction is the problem. Oh, what have I done? I've gotten to an ending point. I have really screwed this up. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this another way. You talk for a moment.
No, dude, it was... Oh, man. I was so blown away, man. Like, yeah, we've been working together. I've known each other for a long time. We chat, we video call each other and everything, like, almost every day. And it's a different feeling when you meet somebody like in person. Like there's a lot more emotion involved. There's a lot more, I don't know how to describe it. But dude, like meeting you and getting to hang out with you and spending that time, dude, like it's like I found my long lost brother that I never had. And like, dude, it was, we laughed, we joked, we had some anger moments towards some people. Not some people, towards a certain booth. I'm not mention anything. But dude, no, dude, it was so amazing just to sit back and actually like really get to hang and get to know you. And that goes for all the other people that we met at the expo. And like, I got to call out Sam Hinchy, Brian Ostrike, Franco was there, Jesse Fox was there. Who else am I missing? I'm missing some people. I
Well,
know it.
Brandon, Brian, Terry,
Yeah, Brandon, Brian, Terry, dude. Oh my gosh.
Matt
Like it was either
Wagner.
Matt Wagner, yes. Oh my god, dude. It was so fantastic. And that's not even the amount of countless people that we met that have been watching, watching you for, for since the old ISR days are just come up to you like and I'll let you speak more to it too, but like it was kind of like it was like kind of trying to herd a cat, like we went there with one objective. We went there to capture as much content as we could. But then like within the first hour, we were just like, screw it. We're gonna sit here and chat to all these people, and dude, that was so much more rewarding than being the guys who were like, oh, we got to get the first scoop on the Huskenfeld wheel. We got to get first scoop on the GSI wheel. No, dude, we just said like, screw it, man. We're just gonna sit back and chat with everybody, have a great time, get to know some of these people and hear their stories, dude, and. That is what really what made my day or my time there at the Sim Gaming Expo.
Yeah, me too. And it changed, like you said, it changed the approach. So my normal, and I've been doing this 20 years, right?
Yeah.
My normal, and I've been to a lot of trade shows. We come in with cameras and microphones ablazing, and we're going to this booth, and we're going to get a bunch of B-roll. We're going to drive a bunch. We're going to do an interview with the person running the booth or who built the whatever it is,
Right.
and talk to them, have them take it through, bring all that data home, and put together all these independent pieces. And it would take about 2.5 days. We even mapped it out in our heads. 2.5 days to do that exactly right. That went out the window right away. And now I'm going to say something. So, if you're a fan of the show, you know that doing this has its ups and its downs, its peaks, its valleys. And sometimes it can be a little rough when things just aren't going your way. Maybe you're not getting the views, you're not getting the income, you're questioning doing it at all and maybe getting a job. These things happen. And I've often said, and I'll stand by this, that I do have the best job in the world. But at times it can be very difficult. And, you don't always get the reward. You read the comments, and it might even put you deeper into a hole at times. This show was the most rewarding experience of my entire life. And it was 20 years of payback from the minute I arrived on the scene. 20 years of goodwill towards me. And so why do we not get anything done at the show? Amir alluded to it, but let me tell you from my perspective. I'm not even in the door yet. And somebody comes up to me. Hey, Sean, oh my God, I've been watching you for X amount of years. You got me into sim racing. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. What's your name? What do you race? If you didn't tell me, how long have you, been racing? What kind of equipment? And I'd want to know all about them, because it's like, what an honor to have somebody come up to you and say that to you, And then we'd be done. Maybe we'd take a picture, and then I'd move on towards the door, and another person would come up. And like for the first hour, I'm like, oh wow, this is really overwhelming, and this is cool. And I've only made it like 20 feet inside to the arena at this point, and I've now met like 15 different people, and it was great hearing their stories and hearing their passion for sim racing, which is what drives this show. And seeing it, like I said, it's not just seeing the comment, but feeling it from them and hearing them and seeing it firsthand was just so incredibly awesome. And I've never had an experience where it happened in this frequency, and 2 hours in, it's still happening, and at some point I'm like, okay, well, eventually it'll die down. I mean, everyone's here, right? We're halfway through Friday, it's filling up, and I'm like, okay, well, now we should be able to get it didn't. It just kept happening. And Amir would be like, all right, dude, I'm gonna go get us checked in because we have an appointment over there in 15 minutes, Sean. And I'd be like, got it. And I'd finish up, and I'd move, and then and then Amir would come around the corner. I'd see him, or he'd come and just grab me and be like, "All right, dude, we're going." Right? Yeah. I couldn't get anything done. It was awesome. It was awesome. I couldn't do my job. It became something completely different. It became about the community, about the people of sim racing, not about all the gear. I've seen a lot of that gear. Some new stuff we'll talk about, but it was such an honor to have that feeling of so many people giving me credit for them being in sim racing, or influencing gear that they happily were using. Because not one person came up and said, you know, I bought such and such wheel and it was the biggest mistake I ever made, and I did it on your record.
Right.
Not one. It was amazing. It was amazing. Thank you. If you were there, we named a bunch of people that we met from the pit crew. There were hundreds more, literally, that I met during the show. Thank you. It meant the world to me. And like I said, it was 20 years of payback for, you know, not payback, of recognition, of honor. And it just meant so much. Anyway, I don't want to show all of our photos because I'm working on an edit that's going to show you 90% of what we've got. And I'm probably going to post some more on some of our socials. Why can't I get this thing to cooperate at all? I thought I had this all squared away for the show. It's not my normal doing this photo thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, here's a good photo. Here's one more scene. We got photobombed. Fully photobombed in the back. Look at this guy. Look at this guy in the back. Anyway, that is me, Amir, and George Anzaldo. George, you've seen him on the show. Man, this guy really worked. He never got to rest. He never got to relax.
Dude, he is a legend, man. I mean, if you've never got the chance to meet George, and if you were at the expo and you probably saw him running around, you probably might not recognize him, but he was the guy that was running around like with his head cut off, trying to make sure everything was good to go. This guy poured his heart, his soul, his blood, sweat, and tears into this event. Like, he's been dreaming of this for at least 4 years, you know, since the COVID days. And, you know, he, I mean, the amount of work he did to make sure all the companies that were there, to make sure all the content creators were there, and making sure that, you know, this was like one of the best smooth running events. Like, I can't commend George enough. Like, if you have him on social media, or like if you've been watching, you know, people's videos, just post in there. Like, George, you did a great, tremendous job. We can't wait for next year. Like, and me too. I cannot wait, man. Like, I'm already counting down the days. I'm ready. So there you are. Yeah, there's that picture with this whole entire family. Like, his whole family was there helping out, and we want to make sure we wanted to make sure we grabbed a photo with this whole entire family, because, you know, there's George, he was the face, but then this whole entire family was there too, running the booth, making sure everything was good, making sure there was no issues. I can't say enough about George and his family.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Other things, you'll see little bits. I don't know if any of you saw it, but we, Amir and I were on stage. There's a shot of us up on stage. Amir did the heavy lifting on this for sure. I just, I was there for some side commentary, but Amir put on a great show. 4 different segments, breaking down almost by the decade the history of sim racing. It was a lot of fun to put on, and we had some pretty decent response to that as well.
Well, yeah, we were the top 3 in the terms of attendance to the panels.
Let's see. Oh, here's me with Bill of Built PCs. And we're gonna have more on that in just a moment. Give me a moment. Let's see. Oh, here's the graphic from our presentation.
Oh, I'm proud to say I am the second person ever to make Sean tear up.
I'm trying to cue that up. Give me a moment here.
I know.
All right, hold on, because this is a really big deal. I have that here. This one at the front. All right. Should be this one. Here we go. Should I just play it raw? It's 3 minutes long.
Just play it raw, man.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh, hold on. I'm not seeing audio. Hold on.
How's it going, guys? I'm Bill. I'm the CEO of Built PC.
Why am I not? Hold on. Why am I not seeing it? Hold on. Bear with me, you guys. I gotta get this audio squared away.
No worries. While he's doing that, I'm gonna try to catch up on your guys' chats.
Watch your ears. Turn down your speakers for a second, everyone. Sorry, I'm just gonna.
On the Built PC's rental
yeah, we got it.
Program.
We're good.
What we're gonna do for the Simpit is we're going to be sponsoring Sean's do.
All right, I'm gonna pause real quick.
Alright, so we got Alicia Long, Jesse Fox, Sandy G, Tom Cruise, Spatial Dragon. Hi everybody. We got Callum Westford Headman. John Hill, Travis, congrats on your son winning a PC from Alexander, man. That's
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. George Sandman. What else we got in here? We got Dirge, hi Dirge Engineer. Franco.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Brandon Carl. Yeah, you're a terrible person for not making the expo, buddy. Just saying that. Fox. I'm not mad at Boothby. No, I was mad at a booth, but this all fixed now.
You can't hear a mirror. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Shit. Shh. Hold on. I know what I have to do. I have to add another audio source to do this right. Give me 1 second. Sorry. There we go. Amir, you have to.
Can you hear me now?
I think you have to do all the hellos from the beginning. Take it from the top. Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
So sorry.
So can everybody hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, everybody can hear me. I know, that's fine. I'll start all over again. Alesh, hello, buddy. We got Jesse Fox, Tom Jones, Tim Spatial Dragon. Let's go down. PS4 Deadman. Hello. John Hill, Travis. Again, we said Travis, congrats on your son winning a PC from Alexander, man. That is awesome. That is super fantastic. George Sandman. Let's go down. Dirge, Christian Clark, and Janera. How's it going? Franco! Brandon Carl. Yeah, dude, you're a terrible person for not making the expo. I mean, there is no excuse. No matter what excuse you come up with. We got Star Fox! We're not mad at Boothy. I was mad at a booth, but we fixed that problem. We're good now. We're all good with those people. Let's see. Steve! Steve, we'll get to your question after I say all the hellos and highs to everybody. Who else? We got Joe Antonio, David S, Grimy Dog, DCR LVP 444. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. You can play the video now, Sean.
All right, so I'm going to reset this up. It is 3 minutes long, so I apologize, but, if you're part of the pit crew, you're a fan of the show, I think it'll mean as much to you as it did me. This was another one of those moments. I talked about meeting everybody at the show and what an honor it was, but there was more to the show than that. As you know, especially if you watch the rally streams, when I rally race, there are no trees, there are no fans lining the circuit. Mm-hmm. And that's because I have my graphics turned so low to be able to maintain playable FPS. Thank you, Tom Jones. That it's just been a struggle, and to the point of embarrassment, which is really tough when you do this. So this happened while I was on stage. We're in the middle, or we're finishing up our 4th segment of History of Sim Racing. I have no idea what's going on, but Amir just all of a sudden is like, hey, I just want to take a minute to do something. And then I see Bill come walking around the corner with a PC. I met Bill on Friday very briefly, and we checked out his cool S2000 race car, and that was it. Anyway, this is what happened. This just happened.
And we're actually going to hand over to Bill so he can say a little bit. Yeah. How's it going, guys? I'm Bill. I'm the CEO of Bill PC. So we wanted to hook up Sean here on the Bill PC's rental retainer program. So what we're going to do for the Simpit is we're going to be sponsoring Sean's PCs going forward, where we're going to be giving him upgrades to any of our rental program PCs indefinitely.
I don't have to play with horrible graphics anymore, guys.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
Yeah, thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. I did this deal. I kind of talked to this guy for like a couple of weeks ago. I tried my hardest to keep Sean away from Built PC because I don't want him talking to him or even know we've been talking with each other to do this really big surprise. So you guys get to see this first. Like, he never even knew about this. To get to see him surprise in real life.
So I did the mistake of coming up into the hallway, and I saw him. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, Amir? And he said hi, and then I think you were telling me earlier that Sean was saying, "Oh, how do you know them?"
Such a
And I
big
think we
deal.
had to play it off like,
Such
"Oh,
a big deal,
I don't know, I
guys.
think I heard of them or something like that."
This
So we
changes
almost blew
everything.
it, actually by
It was
Thursday or
so hard to
Friday.
keep that a secret from
But,
so many
yeah, so
people.
what we
Oh
do
my
over
gosh,
at Build
man.
PCs,
It was
we're
so
systems
hard.
integrators. As you kind of see, we have our systems
Oh,
all
wait
over
till
the
you
show
see the
floor.
glare
Sim,
and the
Research
solar
Simulator, and
rays.
Moza Next Level Racing over at the BeamNG booth. We build PCs, but we have a
we
big focus
might
on motorsport
even
and sim
be,
racing. I'm a motorsports aficionado
like,
myself.
getting
I drive
back
a
to,
lot,
like,
driving
VR,
time attack on road
racing
racing.
for
I'm
me.
an avid sim racer, so we focus on building PCs
Yeah,
that have a
yeah.
specific focus
Oh, I'm so
with sim
excited.
racers in mind. So that's what we do as a specialty.
It builds character,
I just
David.
want to say
That's why.
something real quick.
Yeah.
I love doing
Oh,
what I
such a
do.
good guy.
I've been doing it 24 years.
Oh, strike in the house!
Has been maybe
My
one of the
brother,
most rewarding
Jesse
things
Fox
I've
in the
done.
house, another
The amount of
brother.
people Come up and shared with me their stories.
Thank you
of
both.
how
Thank you
somehow
both for
it
being
affected
part of my
their sim
weekend,
racing
buddies.
Journey or even getting into it. And
Well, yeah, it was so
the
awesome.
job doesn't
Yes.
pay well. For
It was
anyone
really
out there
great.
who's wondering about streaming, it's not a good paying job. And it's been a rough year because I actually have not been able to make a
Wow, it's very nice.
Trying to be a
It was to the
top
point,
streamer,
Tom
a
Jones.
top
Like,
content
just to
creator,
give you a little
making
behind the scenes. It was a little point like
graphics
we were done with our panel and like,
I've been dealing
all right,
with
we had
that
to like,
quite
it was
some
like, all right,
time,
let's go get some
and
more
I've
content
invested
done.
a
And
lot
Sean was like,
in
no,
doing the Simpit or inside
I need to
sim
go
racing.
outside to calm my
And just
nerves.
this
I
whole
was
show.
I
and
was super teared up. I was super teared up, but like just on the brink of it pouring. And if tears had started running down my face, I might have had to have left. I might have just walked off the stage. I don't know how that. I've never had this happen. I've only had two moments in my life where someone made me cry. One was my mom, and the other was Amir.
Non-paying job on earth. So thank you all. Thank you.
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
I'm gonna make a poster and put it
So
down.
yeah, thank you, everybody.
Sean
We-
cry.
Yeah. 3D print a trophy.
No,
let's-
dude, dude, you deserve it, man. Like, you know, like I said, you were saying earlier, you've been part of sim racing for 20 plus years. You know, you've helped so many people out, you know, and it showed during this expo. Like, so many people came up to you as like, I started sim racing because of you. I built this rig because of you. I got into real motorsports because of you. You know, I wanted to do something to show you like how much people cared. And like when the first, you know, not even like, I barely got into like 5 minutes maybe talking things with Bill when I had my call with him, and he was like, "Yup, done deal." Like I didn't even have to go into like a you know, like a sales pitch or any of that stuff. He was like, "It's Sean, yup, done deal." I was like, man, that is awesome. And from there, like after that, like, you know, because and George, and I guess this is where I gotta thank George. George is the one that really linked me to Bill and like hooked us up. Again, so showing how much George cares about the community. And yeah, dude, you deserve it, man. You really do. And I just, you know, hope that's kind of like my little thanks to you for everything that you've done for the, you know, for the sim racing community for the past 20 years.
You need to stop because you're freaking doing it again. All right, Jesse, I love it. The best quote of the expo. Best non-paying job on earth. That was my quote. This is a great picture here, by the way. This one means a lot to me. That's me, Amir, Sam, and Brian, who we got, the four of us were like pretty much inseparable during the whole thing. Went out to, had some killer food together each night. Yeah, really, really awesome. Like, again, you guys, Jesse, everyone who came to the show made the show for me. Whoa, hey, sorry, didn't mean to do that. How do I want to... Oh, that's right, I'm not on a scrolling way, I'm on tabs. We saw the picture of the whole family. Oh, so here's us. Oh, this is my buddy Troy from Delara.
What's up, Stash Gordon?
He came and hung out with us. And then this lady here, this woman, sorry, is Rebecca. I can't remember her last name. Who is...
Rebecca Rains.
Rebecca Rains.
Rains. Yeah.
Who is a former UFC card. What's their real title? Ring girl? Is it ring girl?
She was a ring girl. Yep.
For 16 years and is now an actress and is going to be starring in a movie called Pony about sister late model racers. Late model or modifieds?
Yeah.
Late model. And she was at the expo, and we got to hang out with her a little bit, which was kind of fun because she's using sim racing to try to get prepared for hopping in one of these cars for real. So that was cool. She seemed to like our.
That was cool.
She liked our group.
Oh yeah, she sat. I remember what you and me were at the Simcraft booth, and Troy, man, Troy was like, he was just sitting at the couch, and me and him were talking. She just comes up and just sits down and has a conversation. You know, she was talking to Troy for like a good hour while you and me were doing our thing around Simcraft. Yeah. And she's a huge Star Citizen fan. Like she streams her playing Star Citizen.
She's like sponsored by Capcom, I think she said.
Yep.
Yeah. So so that was kind of cool. There's me and Amir and Rebecca, and here's us with the Simcraft guys. And a couple more. There's going to be a lot more of this in our full video that's coming up.
Yeah.
That's me and Bill. Okay. The new love of my life. No perv. No perv. No perv. No. Linda from Hussenbeld. She was really super bubbly, friendly, and fun. And yeah, she was so cute. Anyway, and she's a tiny girl, so I was just like, oh, I love you. I love you.
Finally, a girl shorter than you.
So no one tell her because she's way too young for me. But no, she's really awesome.
Yeah, she was super sweet, man. I remember, the first day I got to the hotel, she was hanging out in front of the restaurant, and she's like, "Hi, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" I don't even know, like, she didn't have a Huskenfeld shirt on or nothing. She was like super big smile, happy, bubbly, like she was. Yeah,
but that's the way she was. Like amazing. At all moments,
Yeah.
It wasn't like just I'm a vendor exhibitor thing. It's like no, this is just, you could tell it was her.
Yeah.
And then this guy in the middle of the white shirts, that's Remco Hitman. A legend. A legend.
I love that name.
What a name. What a name. But a legend in sim racing. Any of you remember many, many years ago, it's the most impressive thing I've ever seen somebody who wasn't a manufacturer make. It was the Tyrell, 1-to-1 replica sim that was just like down to the rivet accuracy and an operating shifter, just stuff that I had dreamed of when I was building my Russell Star Mazda version. His was just over the top nice. Mine was a little rough around the edges and crude. Anyway, it was really cool getting to meet him as well. Everybody I met, I didn't meet anybody who wasn't like super awesome and cool the whole show.
Oh yeah.
Which takes me to someone. I'm not going to ignore comments, or at least ones I see. Someone asked if Darren Ganji. Yes, Darren Ganji and Inside Sim Racing were there, and we crossed paths. And
we had a nice discussion with him.
Ran into him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Here's. Oh yeah, we were doing a little gag bit at Racing Fuel.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that, Travis. Yeah. Oh yeah, so we had an appointment with Racing Fuel, and me and the guy were talking there, and it was like he went over, took us to the OMP booth, and he was introducing us to the OMP booth, and he looked at me, and then he looked at the racing suit. He was like, "I bet you could fit into the Sunny Hayes suit." I'm like, I don't know. I'm 6'2", like I am way too tall to be an F1 driver. And then we kind of measured it a little bit. Like, I was too big, but we convinced the guy that was at the booth, at the OMP booth, that was running it, to wear the Sunny Hayes outfit, full get up and outfit, and take some pictures, and acting like he's giving driving tips to the people that were driving the Sims out there. We tried to chase down Tony Khan to see, like, hey, we got Sunny Hayes and Tony Khan together finally to have a photo together, but we couldn't find him. He was out and about. Yeah.
And yes, Michael Nielsen, me and Amir finally got to meet in person, and more than meet, we hung out for 3.5 days. Yeah, Tony Kanon is my height, exactly my height.
Yeah, I was able to get one of these.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I have one of those.
An autograph photo.
Yeah. Travis, I understand where. So Travis, this has been one of the toughest points in time for me, because as a guy who's always advocated for people getting into sim racing, what is the entry point, and wanting it to be realistic, knowing people can grow in our hobby or sport, right? It's always been hard. Like, at what point do I no longer recommend the gear-driven wheels of yesteryear? And I do say of yesteryear. And so here's the thing. Because of new things on the market, like the R3 bundle from Moza, you've got the new Turtle Beach bundle, you've got the new VXN gear that are coming in at sub $500 for complete starter kits. I think it's now that time where I can no longer recommend anything that is gear driven. Even on the high end, like a TSPC, it's like, no, don't bother. Just get a cheap DD, because even if you jump up in Newton meters later, maybe you'll get lucky and some of your wheel rims transfer over. But anyway, yeah, it's really hard to stay on that, and I think we're really to the point that yeah, at this point I can't recommend anything gear driven or any of the now if you're sitting there on a Club Sport 2.5, it's still a good wheel. I mean, if it's food on the table or a new wheel, I'd still rock a 2.5 if I had to. But I'm done making that recommendation. All right. So, Stash, there are tons of options. That's the point. For starter kits at this point, it goes well beyond even Moza. And honestly, this won't be in the recap video for Sim Expo. Why don't we both kind of give a little... I'll go first so you can think it. I'm springing this on you. Just kind of an overall, like if you had to put a State of the Union for sim racing coming off of the Sim Expo, or at least, thoughts of where we're at or going. Here's where I'm coming from. Tom Jones, the 2.5 was hands down the best wheel ever for a good period of time. Not just a small period of time, a good period of time. I give credit where credit is due, but all good things come to an end. Is Tony Hawk the best skater in the world? No friggin' way. No friggin' way. He, in fact...
Sean is.
And, oh god, terrible skater. Okay, state of sim racing coming off of Sim Expo. Here's what I saw. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due on this. I think Moza has had such a major impact on the industry, bringing in starting points that were competitive with things like the TSPC or the 2.5 wheelbase, but giving you direct drive performance. And because of those wheels and getting those price points to sub $500, making it a viable starter kit option, it created a whole new race to the bottom. And I'm not saying that's what made PXN get back into the game heavy. I'm not saying that's what made Turtle Beach get back into the game heavy. But it is part of why, or them joining in, it shows the momentum of that direction. And if you need even more proof, Cube Controls, GSI, and Husingfeld all had brand new wheel rims that were at substantially lower prices than their normal and current lineups. Almost to the starter point, like high-end starter point. Like if you knew you were going to be racing because you had a bro who got you into it, and he's like, skip that R3, let's step up. Let's get you into an R9 or an R12, but instead of using that wheel, why don't we go with this wheel? We can get this Astra from Cube Controls, which is like Ferrari level equipment in sim racing, so you're getting that name recognition on top of it, the icing on the cake, so to speak. So that's my thoughts. What about you, Amir? Any thoughts on it? State of sim racing?
I talked about it. We talked about it during the panel. Like, I think we're in that golden age of sim racing, and not just like, and mostly I mostly focused on software. We're talking about like all the different sim racing titles that are out there, but also like equipment. Like, we need to, when you look back, we look back 10 years ago. What were your wheel options back then? You could go gear driven with Logitech. You had belt driven with Thrustmaster or Fanatic, or you could go big boy with a Leo Bodnar and spend $3 to $4 to $5 grand on the direct drive wheel. And those were like your. I mean, there was other people out there like Mad Cats, whatever, but those were like the top dogs at the time. And and looking at fast forward to now, like you're having, you know, I would have never imagined in my life that I would see, a sub $400 direct drive wheel that's out for the market, that's even cheaper than like some of the Thrustmaster, wheels were, when they came out, like the 300 T500, like they're at a cheaper price point than what they were back in the day. And now seeing like, Cube Controls, which is known for having, their high-end wheels that are going to cost you, over $700. Well, now they're releasing, a $300 wheel. Huskefeld, same thing. GSI is releasing a much cheaper wheel, and now we're starting to see, PXN getting into the direct drive, Turtle Beach getting into the direct drive market. This is something I would, I don't know, I would have never imagined it 10 years ago. I don't know how you feel about it.
I had no idea that it would get here. I will say this though, about my buddy Troy's going to kill me for saying this publicly. My buddy Troy, who works for Dallara, used to literally build the steering wheels for Ray Hall Racing. Right? When he first started working for Ray Hall, he was the guy who built the steering wheels. And now this was before they went really high tech, but it was already buttons and things in there. And I was like, you could be building those in your basement and selling them in sim racing.
Yeah.
And so he could have beat to the punch everyone, but Sim Precision Engineering was really getting into it at that point when I was recommending it. Anyway,
right.
He was at the show, and I think he was kicking himself in the ass just a little bit, because he's like, wow, the GSI booth, they have like 15 employees. They got like a huge booth, and it's like, that could have been you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Somebody,
I don't want to get, before I forget,
yeah,
there was, let me go back, there was a question that was asked. I want to go back to it.
You
talk and I'll find the question.
Well, Michael, I want to hear what you mean. Which part did you not like on that? Please tell me. Please. Open discussion. And then also someone was asking about an R3 with a 12-inch. There you go, Travis. That's a really good starter kit. Now, the 12-inch wheel, I'm assuming like the 12, that's like I think it was 13 for the truck wheel. So you're just talking about the ES rim, I believe, the large, inexpensive wheel. It's a great starter kit. I mean it. It really is a great starter kit. 3 Newton meters is very, very light. That's basically like having a Logitech G27 or G29. I keep screwing that up. Which one? So many of them now. Anyway, it's a great, and the nice thing is now, again, you're buying into the Moza ecosystem or family. So if one day you're like, oh, I want a Formula Rim, chances are that Formula Rim is going to be one of the Moza choices. But that means also that later, if you update your wheelbase, that you'd have carry it forward. Usually. Right. But here's the new problem we are having with ecosystems, I'm noticing. Because hardware technology is growing at a very fast pace right now, you're seeing substantial differences between like V1 and V2s, and sometimes it does make certain wheel rims obsolete. So I did notice on one of my most recent Moza bases, it made my ES rim V1 not work. So it not everything advances forward forever, for sure. And I'm using Moza as an example, but you're going to see this from Sim Magic, and we've seen it from Sim Magic, and you're going to see it from after the Sim Expo, new companies are getting into the game. Sim Labs is now making a base. Husingveld now making a wheel rim. GSIs have always been a third party, and we're now seeing the beginning of like wireless third party wheels via Bluetooth. And I think it's going to be really interesting. A wireless wheel, which you're going to see more and more of now for sure. Needs 2 requirements. Number 1, it needs a wireless connection to your computer or the wheelbase, which someday, don't leave this out, because we're seeing this already from like the AccuForce, where the wheel rim talks to the wheelbase first, talks to the computer second. So if we can start coming up with some kind of agreed upon industry standard of communications, wheelbases can start building them into the base, allowing any third-party rim to connect to the base, which is really close, instead of having to talk to the computer, which is over there. So that's one factor that is going to be challenged. A lot of people's sim rooms kick up a lot of radio noise, electric noise, and communications, wireless communications get funky. I mean, I have none of my keyboard and mice work very well in this room because they're wireless and it gets interfered with all the EFI. Okay, and then the other part of it is they have to be rechargeable, which is really scary, especially if you're an endurance racer or if you're just kind of not so good about getting your stuff charged when you should. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the vibe. I mean, this is what we're seeing at the show that is going to transfer into the, finishing off of 2025 and going into 2026. Here's Brandon Skinner, another pit crew member we got to meet over the weekend. Go ahead, Amir. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to say, Steve had a question of, did we get a chance to try Project Motor Racing?
Oh. Yes. Yes, we did. They had... It's going to be covered in my... Well, I'll tell you as much, so we don't have to be secretive about Project Motor Racing. They had one rig that you could walk by 100 times and not realize it was Project Motor Racing sitting there.
Yeah.
And I did walk by it 100 times, not realizing it was a Project Motor Racing. And then I'm assuming it was you, because Amir was on point and I was in Never Never Land. And so Amir's like, hey, that's Project Motor Racing. And so we sat down and gave it a shot. I want to be fair here. Whoever was running their sim had no idea what they were doing. And I don't care if I insulted them just now. Or I do care. I'm sorry if I insulted you. But you should have talked to one of the people who knew Sims. You should have got anyone from the crowd and been like, hey, dude, I'll give you some stickers and a shirt. Can you please dial this in? Because I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyway, the field of view is horrible for a single screen. I'm not gonna say the game can't be adjusted right. I don't know. But the field of view was like set. It was like it was almost like the computer had been configured for triple screens and then someone just gave it a single screen at the show. Because I couldn't see into the corners. I couldn't see anything properly. The graphics were brilliant. Brilliant graphics. But I couldn't see functionally to drive well. And then their wheel settings were garbage. And it was like not a good driving experience. But with that said, I don't even want to point a finger at them. This was not this was an unfortunate thing. It should never have been displayed in that manner. It should have been given. I've seen them at other things where they had like 10 rigs set up, and it's like, and I'm sure they were dialed in. And it was a decent driving experience. It's Project Cars. I mean, 1 and 2. 1 was okay. 2 was a great game. 3 was a back step only because they didn't progress in the right direction. I think it was actually a better game, but they didn't progress in a better. So I mean, they have potential. And we're going to talk about they just obtained another license, which is very important to the North American sim racers. Anyway, okay, sorry.
No, I agree, man. Because at first, because what is it? Someone came up to me on the second day. Yeah, I had no clue they were there. Someone came up the second day, is like, yeah, I tried Project Motor Racing, and I was like, we've already done a few laps around here. Like, where is this at? I don't know where it's at. I haven't seen it. And he goes, oh, it's right next to the streaming booth. I'm like, I don't remember. I remember there was like this casino slot game thing that they were doing there, but I remember seeing a rig, but I thought it was just some random rig that people could jump in because there was nobody there taking a look at it. I mean, every time I walked by, there was maybe one person, but there was like, most of the time it was just empty. And I finally go back, like, oh yeah, this is Project Motor Race. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I would expect maybe 1 or 2 rigs or like have like people there because this game's coming out soon. I would thought they would have like a decent size push, having a good amount of people there to make sure. Then I'm sitting there watching, you and me go to it and we watched it. Some other guy was in it, and like the graphics are a little off. The FOV, you mentioned it. But we jumped in. You jumped in first. I jumped in second. You tried, what is it? You tried the Audi R18, right?
Yeah, the multi-year winning car.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I jumped into the Porsche, the old Porsche LMP car.
Right.
And you tried that one, so let me try that. I tried that Canadian Motorsport Park. For all you Canadians. So I just want make sure You know, compare it to iRacing's, you know, Canadian motorsport. And dude, yeah, it was the wheel was not set up correctly, the pedals were not set up correctly, and I'm just like,
We were both spinning out.
right? Like the minute on the brake pedal, like I pressed halfway down, nothing, and then like I pressed a little bit more than half, and like full brake lock. And I was like, what is going on here? Like this is not how. And I hit the curbs. I barely feel anything. It just didn't feel right. And for me, it's like you guys could have put a little bit more effort into making sure like get people excited. You know, having all those people there, like actually able to try it, and you're not even trying to build up enthusiasm. Like, 'cause that just was like, okay, I'm not gonna judge you, but like I was like, whatever, and we moved on, right?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
and Stash, you're right. The pedals. So that was my first experience with the new direct drive Logitech. Wheel was fine. I had no complaint there, but the pedals were really really. This is like no better than any pedal set you've ever made before.
right.
It's 2025, but we have more from Logitech too that wasn't at
Yeah.
the show. So to be fair, someone mentioned our thoughts on Inside Sim Racing. Heiko said better not ask. This is not something I'm going to be shy about because we're a sim racing news and community channel. Let's be real, right? No, we ran into Darren at the show. I said hello. He said hello, and we both went about our jobs. Right? We both had jobs to do at the show. I don't know what kind of show they're gonna do. It's been many years since they've been on the air, but I wish them all the luck in sim racing, just like I do all of the other channels. I mean, we're at this show, and this picture shows it right here. Here's Lawrence Dusosa and Mike from Sim Racing Den, who we spent a lot of time with at this show, and they were great guys. We hung out with TS. Help me, I always.
Oh, we were hanging out with the Chicane podcast, hung out with Gray's Dynamics, hung out with EW Sim Racing. We hung out.
Mike's
with,
here.
Yeah, Mike's here. We hung out with Matt Malone. Dude, like there's so many people. Yeah, those are the guys from the Chicane podcast. So you got from left to right, you got Eric, you got middle, you got Jason, and then Jeff on the other side. And that was them also, because same thing, like Eric and Jason, they've known each other for about for a long time, and this was the first time they've ever met each other too. So like I was able to grab that picture of them first meeting each other. Yeah, dude, I'm forgetting all the other people that we met, and everybody was super chill. Everybody was super nice and cool, having great conversations. This is the thing that
There's no attitude. Like
exactly,
there's
and this
no
is the thing,
superiority. There was no attitude. It was just a bunch of like-minded individuals.
And this is the thing that mind boggles me. Like, and this is what I get tired of so much. I see so much negativity on the internet. I see so much negativity on the comments. So many people trying to stir shit up. And sometimes it gets exhausting. Like, what are we arguing about here? Like, these are literally first world problems. Like, like in the end, does it really effing matter what you're arguing about or trying to get somebody against the other person? iRacing sucks, LMU sucks, or this and that. Like, we were all there. We were all there having fun, chatting, friggin', and discussing our love for the hobby. It just, there was no animosity, there was no ill will, there was no attitude, there was no egos. It was just there. Everybody was just there having fun and chilling out and having a blast. And like, it reinforced to me is like where, like, real life interactions mean so much more than like what you see online. Like, I'm at the point where like I'm kind of done with online shit, because this reinforced like when you're actually sitting down and talking to real people, that is what actually really matters. Yeah.
This picture here is one of my favorite moments of the whole show, and probably my favorite picture of the whole show. But this was our crew. So yeah, you can see this is everybody: Terry, Brian, Brandon, my buddy Troy, me, Sam, and Amir. at Giordano's having Chicago pizza Friday night, and it was really, really fun. Just, I'm so glad so many of you guys came out and getting to hang with everybody. So, we got hot dogs. Yeah, the next night, let's see. Me, Troy, Brandon, and me, Troy, Brian, and Sam went to Portillo's. Is that what it's called?
Portillo's, yeah.
Which they're known for.
Portillo's?
Yeah, they're known for their Chicago hot dogs. And what I didn't remember is that I'd been to one in Indy, but we went to one in Chicago, and I actually got a hot dog the way they do it with, like, tomatoes and stuff on it. I just didn't get relish, and it was super awesome. I also ate a French dip beef and a large order of fries. I kind of pigged out at that one. Anyway, all right. So the rest, if you have any more about Sim Gaming Expo thoughts or questions, by tomorrow I will have a recap of the Sim Gaming Expo, and it'll have a little bit more detail of some of the things that we did get to see. But I think you get the gist of what we experienced there. Any other thoughts before we move on to the news? News gonna seem,
no, I'm just trying to go back and make sure we.
Seems so.
I'm
boring.
trying to make sure we answered everybody's questions.
All right.
Make sure we got. I think we are good. I thought about a stash. I thought about grabbing an SC2, but there was no way I'd be able to put it in my suitcase and grab it. Yeah. I think we answered everybody's questions. No, Dirge, Ben Collins wasn't there. Again, it was just one dude that really didn't know what he was doing. He was just there, and I kind of felt bad for the guy.
I think he was also watching Farm Sim because it's from Giant Software, you know.
Yep. No, Bucho wasn't there. He talked about being there. I don't know what happened. We saw Franco. Franco was there.
Yeah, and when I originally met Bucho, I was with Franco at Long Beach Grand Prix. So when I saw Franco, my first thought was, "Where's Bucho?" But no, he didn't make it. Hopefully next year. And honestly, I'm pointing a finger. I expect to see a lot more of you at next year's show. I can only assume there will be a next year. Again, starting off at the beginning, I'm a pessimist. Always plan for the worst, but hope for the best. And coming off of that, I'm really optimistic and hopeful for next year's event. And we at the Simpit are going to do everything in our power to promote, market, and plan, and do everything we can to make it bigger and better than this last year. And I expect to meet even more of you next year, which means I'm going to be even more useless at next year's show, which is great by me. But anyway, we already talked on ways to counter this for future shows. Anyway, all right. Shall we move along?
Yeah.
Oh, not yet.
No, I'll just go in. Tom Jones, yes, there was a lot of VR stuff there. Not really necessarily sim racing, but there was like a huge area for VR people to go and play VR games. John, the LAN setup they had, I'm trying to remember how many rigs they had set up for the iRacing tournament. And then like once the tournament was over, people could jump into and try things out. I think they had 30 or 28 rigs or something like that.
It was a lot of rigs. That was a lot of rigs for a live competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really nice rigs. That's one thing I'll say. I've seen a lot of esport competitions where it's like, maybe 20 or 18 rigs, and, they're like, come on, chassis that not even like real sim racers rock, or equipment that we would use. These were like dialed in. In fact, isn't this literally like if you go to Micro Center, isn't that literally the setup they have? Like a P1 with a SimuCube with a GSI rim? Isn't that like literally the Micro Center setup? And yeah, they were selling. Somebody had mentioned too, like if you were in the market for a full ride, that was the place, because those were going to be relatively lightly used and only used by like very talented sim racers. It's not like some hack jumped on it. It was only used by like elite level sim racers, non-abusive for sure. All right.
Oh yeah.
Anything
Go ahead,
else?
buddy.
Yeah.
That's it. We're good.
All right. Really don't have anything from us because I had COVID, then we had a show. But we're back. I'm rocking and rolling. You guys, last thing I'm going to say. all of that reward, all of that positive energy from the show, having a new computer to be able to run it, I am so pumped up right now. I mean, I talked about the peaks and valleys in the roller coaster. I came home with like ridiculous amount of focus, energy, and excitement for the future of the Simpit. So get ready, sit back. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, iRacing. There was an update, season 4 update. We are going to do a piece, but we're still playing the catch-up game, so we're letting this one slide. We're not, but next time we're
on it.
You know, it's a triage at this point, but triage in the name of winning the battle, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of cool things in this. So I mean, stuff I do want to try out, like Aston Martin.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta love that car.
I gotta try the Indy next. I gotta try that one.
Indy next here. Scroll down. We have the Ford Mustang GT4, and there it is, the Dallara. Dallara. Yeah, so this is the Indy NXT, debuted in 2002 as a feeder series.
Yep.
We've got Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. I gotta get out there on that track for sure. New UI. Oh, I haven't. So I downloaded. Yeah. I haven't had the time. Okay, I'm gonna have to.
I didn't get a chance to fire it up either, man. Like, literally, we had our call yesterday, and then after that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go rest on the couch a little bit, dude. I passed out. I'm still trying to get over the jet lag.
Oh, I love which part of the UI. Oh, we're talking all the information overlays. Looks like they got updated. I'm seeing this for the first time myself. Look at this. Oh, that's exciting. I like that. All right. VR headset eye tracking. What do you know? I'm planning to run some VR. Ooh. And I'll tell you what. People have asked, am I going to run VR for my rally streams? And I think, we'll check, we'll try. I think the answer is going to be no. And that's because VR streams typically suck, in my opinion. It's just like you can only watch so much jiggle cam, right? However, I have a trick for iRacing that allows me to stream awesomely in VR. So if I'm happy going back to VR, we might just do that. And then I really, really, really want to get my hands on one of the Huissinkveld wheels. I'm going to tell you one thing I loved about that wheel rim, by the way, going back to the show. They had 5 buttons in thumb's distance, which is more than anybody. Usually it's 2 or 3, right? And there was a center alignment nub, like a little like pokey thing right in the middle of the buttons. So if you were in VR or didn't want to look down at your wheel, it was like the QWERTY. You know, you have that little ridge on the F and the J so that if you know how to type, it keeps you aligned on the keyboard. It was that kind of thinking, and it was brilliant in my opinion. And yeah, I'd totally go for that wheel. And I talked about wireless battery life. So it's like 60 hours on that wheel with all the LEDs. If you turn off the display because you run in VR, they say it works over a month. Anyway, all right. We're going to keep going back to the show because I know some other news stories touch on it. So, the Joe Rogan line. Okay. Let's see here. Any other thoughts on the iRacing there, Amir?
Yeah, I I can't wait to try it out, man. I meant to go. Yeah, I meant to do a live stream of it yesterday, but again, like we had the meeting and stuff that ran a little late, and then that. Dude, I really want to try all those stuff out. I want to try. Yeah, so maybe next week. I'm not sure. I gotta finish my actual Primax review video. That's my #1 priority.
Wow,
and then, yeah, if I got time, then I'll
very
jump in
nice.
and try it out.
Viking, it was the best time. Man, it was the best time. Love it. The other thing I'm noticing, I think this has been going on for a while, but I did notice that like all of the new cars and tracks come fully loaded. So there was AI updates as well, right? So like all the new cars, tracks always come with that ready to go, versus they're usually playing backward catch-up game on a lot of the older content. Which I have. Hey, well, Stash, it was cool seeing your thoughts on the show as well, and have a good day at work. But yeah, with iRacing, I do like their approach on that, by the way, of making sure the newest stuff is treated, because, the cream rises to the top. Now, a lot of time the newest content is where people are gravitating to. And, they probably have pretty good numbers on,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, why have they not done the Cadillac yet? Why haven't they up? And it's like, because other than you, only like 4 other people drive it.
Right.
Okay. I think that's all we have from iRacing, right?
Yeah, those were the big stuff. Yeah.
All right, Assetto Corsa, not a lot of news for Competizione. And they had a little bit of representation at the show.
Oh, we got to meet somebody important from iRacing too.
Yes, we did. You mean our hallway conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like pretty much incognito the whole entire event because he was there for 2 days.
I'll set the scene. So we're walking down the hallway, me and Amir, and this guy's coming at us. Kind of a middle-aged guy, light on hair. He's kind of looking at me. I'm kind of looking at him, and he's like, "I know you." And I'm like, "I'm Sean Cole, the Simpit." And he's like, "Oh yeah." This was none other than Dave Kemmer of iRacing.
Yep.
So we talked to him for like, what, 20 minutes? We were there a while talking about Dave.
20, 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, because because Richard from SimLab joined us for a little bit. And he was like sitting there waiting, like, "Oh, hi." Because I don't think they knew each other either. And then we mentioned, it was like, "Oh, it's David Kamer." He's like, "Oh," his eyes lit up. But then he had to leave because he had to make sure he had all of his booth stuff were set up.
So yeah, that was cool. All right, so Assetto Corsa. So at the show, like almost everything was running iRacing. They were super dominant in the software category. Assetto Corsa, I'd actually say it was actually evenly divided between Assetto Corsa and Competizione. Competizione was being used in some of the more simpler setups, and in the more elaborate cases where they wanted to actually control the conditions more, I was actually seeing some just straight up Assetto Corsa with some mods and things in it. So that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Anyway, Assetto Corsa Competizione, more proving grounds are now out there. Prizes worth $500 are up for grabs, and new 60-minute Super Sprint series have been added as they kind of expand the racing action going on for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I think that's all what was really going on there this week.
Yeah.
Le Mans Ultimate posting some numbers from their shakedown tests they're doing. So this is their 6-hour teams event to give you an idea. But again, we're starting to see some impressive numbers out of Le Mans, which is great to see. So this was their 6-hour COTA race on the 5th through 7th of September. 1.5 million kilometers driven, 40 times around the equator, by the way. 290,000 laps completed, 1,976 teams, 6,327 individual drivers.
Yeah.
So that's getting there. That's impressive.
It is.
They had 8,000 driver swaps go on during the race. And let's see, I don't quite understand this one. It says 57 races, 12 time slots across the weekend. But then over there it says 14 splits. So I'm a little confused on the...
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. 514 teams for the maybe it was 57 total splits. So for the biggest one, it was 14 splits with 514 teams. That might be how that reads. Anyway, that's impressive. I love to hear it. And then I know they're looking for feedback coming off of it, and doing a lot to make Le Mans better and better, which is great to see. And something that I'm excited because another part, the thank you Built PC, but I'm going to be able to actually get back into Le Mans Ultimate because I've been frustrated by graphics, and it's been really hard for me to get into that when I'm like, this game with things turned down doesn't look great, but I know it looks spectacular normally. And then it ends up with performance, and yeah, so, alright. Anyway. They've learned iRacing maths.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good promotion. All right, here's a shot of here is a shot of the rig of Project Motor Racing, by the way. So this is, when I say it was really like hard to notice, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. There's just this one rig sitting next to this simple banner, sharing a very, very small, like the smallest booth you can have with Farm Sim, which, and honestly, my vibe on Farm Sim is the same thing. It's like, wow, you guys could have really showed up with a better setup to show off Farm Sim. And funny enough, I know a lot of sim racers farm sim. So they're going to want to sit down if you had a really cool farm rig to drive, because they don't have a cool farm rig at home. But if you basically give them the same offering that they're already doing at home, they're not going to bother even stopping at the booth. Which is kind of how I felt about, the whole thing. Anyway, but they're there, and did I have anything else to say about it?
No, I think we mentioned everything about them.
Those are the
earlier. Yeah.
Esport rigs. No, those aren't the esport rigs. I'm sorry. Wait, that's a different show. I'm sorry. That's what was going on. That's what we went to. Yeah, that's all. That's, I think. Oh no, there was other news. Sorry, from Project Motor Racing. They have signed a deal with IMSA for the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Well, and this could be a. I'm not going to say the word I was going to say. Bleep block. Bleep block. Bleep block. We saw it with IndyCar. This could be, iRacing. You no longer get this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
I don't know if this is going to have, and if there's any company that was the leader in lawsuits and doing this, it would be these guys. So hopefully this doesn't have an hopefully this is only a positive impact in the right direction. If that makes sense.
Yep.
All right. But IMSA will be in Project Motor Racing. All right, let's just trip out with the guys from BeamNG. Bubbles.
Oh man, these guys, they crack me up.
Just bubbles. I think it's like I think it's actually solar lens flare is what I think that really is. But they are putting it out in bubbles. That's my hunch. And then this one, more wackiness, like a napkin drawing, like they're at Applebee's having a beer and burger, and one of them pulled out a pen and wrote on a napkin this, like, okay, well, what if we did this, and then someone took that napkin and turned it into this, and they just asked for feedback. I don't know. It's fun. I gotta get back into Beam.
I gotta wonder if these guys spend more time making these fun little graphics, or they spend more time working on the game itself.
Well, I think that's the beauty of Beam is the people in charge. Here's my guess, because again, they got bigger too, right? So
yeah,
I think that the guys, it's almost like a South Park thing, It's like
kinda.
Now all those guys have to do is sit back and do whatever it is that gets them in the right groove for being in, good thinking, and then they just start sketching out like, okay, hear me out on this. We're going to take a Winnebago and a cannon. And we're going to put the cannon on top of a hill to shoot a cannonball at the Winnebago to see how many shots it takes to knock the Winnebago off the mountain. What do you think? And
I agree. Yeah.
All right. So that's what's up at Beam. Bubbles and this sketch.
And bubbles and sketches. I see like the cop car with the green car. Yeah. And then something with question marks down below. Yeah, I don't know.
I've been seeing somebody needs to make a really good cop driving sim game. Like I've seen that cop game where you play a cop, but it's so about being a cop and everything, the interactions. It's like, no, I want to be like a cop in an aggressive city. Like I've been seeing, where LA, for example, there's a car chase every day in LA. But I've been seeing more and more videos where they can attach that thing from the bumper and they lasso. It's like being a cowboy. They're cowboys now, lassoing the cars, and that looks fun. I mean, like, I'd pay to go do that, right? Yeah, someone needs to make a new where you're like, oh, you got to do a
True.
pitman maneuver, but you got to fit the right moment, or you got to work with the other guys to close them down, or do a good roadblock.
That would be a good fun co-op game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cops and robbers. Yeah, you get to play either side. You get to play the getaway vehicle or one of the cops. And in mass multiplayer, you get like those big, like the OJ chase where it can be like 15 cops chasing one dude, right? The grappler. Right. That's it, the grappler.
Right.
Man, I've seen some really cool. That thing seems to work. Like, I thought it would just tear bumpers off, but somehow it's like effective. I've seen a couple. But I've seen.
I can't even imagine like being in Germany, driving on the Autobahn unlimited, doing a car chase. Oh, that's just mayhem in the making.
Yeah, wrecks with civilian cars. Oh, this could get really good. And in honor of our pieces on stage of the history of sim racing, I think that one of the getaway cars has to be an open top Ferrari, where you have the blonde in the seat and it gets tossed over and everybody gets tossed out of the vehicle. Let's do it right. Let's do it.
Who remembers that game? If you can name that game. Name that game that we just talked about.
Again, the most politically incorrect thing ever done in sim racing.
I know, right?
For sure. All right, just a heads up, we have some highlights. I'm not going to play the whole video because we're running long and I got to start filming my expo. But we have the GT World Series highlights from London for Gran Turismo. And in addition to that, which you can see at their Twitter page, I'm not going to play that whole video, but they've made their announcement, so you can now start getting tickets for Berlin. So Berlin Round 2 of the World Series is going on September 20th. September 20th. Is that in conjunction? Isn't there something else going on September 20th?
Not that I know of. No, because the Sim Racing Expo is not until October.
October. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I emailed Wani like I said I was gonna. Sorry, everybody, doing a little business here. And I said, yeah, I know you're gonna meet Amir at Spa, so hopefully you can get one of those fuel cans. I leaned. I'm yeah. Hi, Wani. SCS software for American Truck Simulator. They're showing off a little of the Louisiana DLC with this massive industrial hub. Holy hub! Did you guys see the video of that carrier at Long Beach? I know you saw it. Anybody who goes to like any social media, it was one of those big cargo ships, and like a whole stack went in the middle. It was like right in the middle, just one stack perfectly. But it like was launching them into the ocean on one side and onto the deck on the other. That could have been sim wheels not making it to us, right? That could have been car parts not making us. Like, you got to think, when I see that outrun, Tom Jones got it. When I see that going on, though, I always am thinking, what product are we not getting this month? Because that was it. That was a whole container of Moza R9s, Who knows? All right. Let's see. Live for Speed. This was a little secret buzz.
Yeah.
So it was at the show I was hearing this, like 5 or 6 different people.
Same.
So Live for Speed. Pulse. They got a pulse. They're signs of life. We had a whole conversation about Live for Speed with someone, too, talking about it. And we brought it up, obviously, in the history of sim racing. But,
I know. It kind of made me nostalgic. I want to go back and try it.
So this was their September. It is September right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, September. Progress report. I'm just going to really briefly. Eric has recorded 2 unedited videos of AI drivers racing around updated South City Kyoto Ring. The 2 most time-consuming of our updated tracks. Videos are taken by viewpoint using time multiplier of 200. So you can see the day-to-night transitions. I'm going to go ahead and play one. It's 11 minutes long. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. There we go. This is AI drivers on Live for Speed. Updated. So anyway, the report goes on to tell us what kind of work they did through May, June, and July. And yeah, it's just great to see that Live for Speed is getting more life pumped into it. And again, we weren't soliciting. I knew this update happened from being at the show and hearing people talking about it. So that was cool too. Rennsport, I put him back on my radar. I did. I actually this morning added a few things. I kind of revamped. I need to add a few more to make sure I'm keeping more companies on the radar for our news. But Rennsport, they had been off the list, so unless I heard about it somewhere, I wouldn't. Anyway, but yeah,
Sorry, Sean. You could mention them. You don't have to be worried about me anymore. I'm over. I have a new trigger point. But I'm good with Rennsport because I've erased that from my brain.
It's like Test Drive Unlimited. You're just over it, right?
Exactly. I'm over it. It's done.
I have to admit, I did that with Forza. So the new Forza came out. I fired it up, and I was actually excited. And I was like, I don't like this at all. So until they change the force feedback, I'm not coming back to it. And I made that very public. And no one to this day has said, oh, they fixed it and made the force feedback great. You should try it again. So I haven't. So I get it. I'm over. It doesn't even bother me anymore. It's just off my radar. All right. So new car rosters. We have a couple of these, actually. Solar Crown, they had no representation at the show. That's the other thing. I will say this, especially for the software guys, because it's like, you can probably get the hardware guys to provide you stuff. You don't have to bring any hardware. You just need to bring your game, and you'll get stuff provided. If you have to be there. Like, you have to be there leading the way. It's not on the hardware guys alone. So, I mean, iRacing was there by being on nearly everybody's booths, and I'm assuming they gave them a deal on the usage for that, because it's a commercial license versus, just what we use. Anyway, all right, so new cars for Rennsport. The Mercedes-AMG GT3 2020, the BMW M Hybrid, and the Hyundai Elantra NTCR. So that's kind of cool. And what else? They pre-order bonuses, so will be available for the standard and deluxe editions of Rennsport. Additionally, the deluxe edition will include the first 2 historic content DLCs at no extra cost, so you want to get a deal on that. And then other new cars, the Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2, the Audi R8 LMS GT4, and the Audi RS3 LMS, kind of Audi-centric. And then lastly, Rennsport is coming to console. This is old news, sorry. Sorry, got carried away. All right, that's the end of the new news. But yeah, let's see here, and then we'll accept those. So Rennsport is taken. Here's the standard edition versus the deluxe edition. Standard edition is gonna be 18 cars, 13 tracks, 7 in-game classes. Tracks are from 9 different countries, and with the pre-order bonus, you get the Ford Mustang GT3, an exclusive livery, and a 72-hour early unlock. Oh my god, I get to play it I get to play a game that I conceivably could have been playing for a while already. I get to play it 72 hours.
I've had it for a year, Sean. You're not missing out.
All right. But wait, there's also the
There's more!
You'll get the Porsche 911 GT3 Rennsport, the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and DLC Endurance Classics Part 1 and DLC Touring Classics Part 1. I'm assuming that's Part 2. A little typo, I'm assuming, because why would there be 2 Part 1s? It's so big they needed to divide Part 1 into 2 parts. 19 cars from 8 in-game classes, 14 tracks from 9 countries, and 2 DLC packs. So, that's Rennsport's planning. This is interesting. This is actually kind of cool. We talked a bit about the club sport earlier. Fanatic now has a spare parts section on their website.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you're looking for some genuine parts with zero guesswork, like load cells and various wires and pieces that you might need if you're a club sport user or a Fanatic user. So you'll find that at the Fanatic website. Sim Magic got this out. I had one of these and they told me to hold off. I'm gonna have to re-inquire This is a great idea. This is something I love. Anybody who's using a third-party wheel knows about wraparound cables and what a pain in the butt it is. Well, what if somebody made it so the quick release could actually bypass wraparound and give you a solid plug-in point? Not the kind that's going to wiggle loose, but a good one. That's exactly what SimMagic has done here with the QRA. Designed for the Alpha Evo, compatible with third-party wheels. So, if you're not ready to like everything we talked about at the beginning of Bluetooth and wireless recharging, this would be another option for Evo users. I think that's all we had out of them. I need to reach out to them, though. They have their new inexpensive pedals.
Oh, the T7, was it the
5,000?
P700s or the 500s?
Yeah, 500s.
500s?
5,000s.
500s.
I want to get my hands, or I want to get my feet on those, because they have the load cell for an affordable price. So this could be, and this is like when we talked about the bundles and the under 500 R3s and whatnot. Pedals are still the Achilles heel. They're, the inexpensive bundles are giving you floppy pedals, as I like to call them. So this could be a little bit of I hate using these clay. It could be a game changer.
I mean, I'm sure they're probably something similar to like maybe the TLCMs or something like that.
Yeah. But that's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because that at least, I mean, again, if you gave me, I'm not even going to keep saying the R3. If you gave me any starter, because we could be talking about the Turtle Beach, we could be talking about the PXN. If you gave me a starter direct drive wheel with one of their starter wheel rims, which are definitely not very nice, and they start out like 139 and work their way up to like under 300 for starter rims. And you gave me LCMs or inexpensive load cell option.
Right.
I could rock that for years without needing an upgrade. Wanting, sure.
Yeah.
Desiring, sure. Needing, not so much.
I think we're at the point, since we already have entry-level direct drive wheels, like we should be having entry-level load cells. Like I think we should be at the point where like potentiometer pedals should not be a thing at all anymore. Like, and load cells are very inexpensive nowadays. Like it shouldn't cost that much more to make them and just like some of these companies need to let go of potentiometers. Like you could use it for the throttle, that's cool, but for the brake pedal, like you should be load cells only now. Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yep.
All right, so check this out. Something new is coming to the grid soon. This is at Logitech. And we have a wheelbase. We see their old school. We see their new school. And now we see something else. I want to say it looks bigger, but does it?
I don't know.
So, and all they say,
it looks a little bit smaller.
And was Logitech officially at the show? No, cowards. So, and then if you get up to the top of the Logitech page, by the way, I had to go back for that one. We have this. So, Logitech G. Time to mark your calendars. Our biggest announcements of the year are coming during Logitech G Play on September 17th.
So in like 5 days?
Yeah.
5 days? Yeah.
And I assume, because that other one said just wait, I assume that this will be part. It seems like they have a lot going on. So yeah. I'm going to have to put it in my calendar. I'm going to have to see what's up. I'm going to have to reach out to Logitech. Reviewed
my question is, are they going to fix the G Hub software and make it actually usable?
No, or like their or their camera software.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, everything's tied in. Like every time I boot up the sim rig and I turn on the camera, like I have to redo all my settings all over again because it just won't save them.
I think their new slogan that they're going to come out with in 2026 is Logitech, it works, so F off. Right? Yeah, but it works, right? right? You plug it in and it works.
Right.
Keyboard, mouse, wheel, it works. Our software sucks and you can't do much, but it works. We guarantee
Right.
that it will work.
It's like EA Sports. It's in the game, but it's like Logitech. It works.
It works.
True Force. True Force.
This was the teaser of the wheel from Husingfeld. So,
Oh man,
Husingfeld 1. Oh, it's really light too.
I really like that wheel. I really like it.
I heard some mixed opinions on it.
Same.
So, and how many steering wheels do you think there were? Okay, so anyway, before we answer, there are a lot of people in the chat who were at the show. Mm-hmm. How many different steering wheels do you think were at the show? I don't know. This is a guessing game. This is like guessing the marbles and or the gumballs in the machine.
I know.
You know?
I know.
You know? There's an answer?
I know.
No. You're guessing. You're BSing me.
I do know.
You do know. Someone counted?
I counted.
You counted. Oh my god.
I did.
All right. In a dreamy way, I'm going to throw... So, Tom Jones, 7. Tim, 27.5. Neither of you were there. Jesse Fox, 31. Jesse was there. 107.
107.
Now, Joa, it's funny you said that because in my mind there were over 100, but then I was going to walk that back because what I wasn't taking into account was how many duplicates were being displayed. So I'm actually going to scale my number down, and I'm going to give my number in a minute. Hinch says 48. He's like, GSI had 8 alone. So Sam's guessing 48. Jesse guesses 31. Spatial guesses 27.5. Interesting with the half there. That's like a 3D printed wheel they had, in parts or something. Or the prototypes we saw that weren't functional.
Oh, that's right. We saw a company had a prototype.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right.
All right. Here's my 40. I think there are 40 different wheel rims for sure.
So you had...
Brian says 35.
Okay, so I'm going through all the booths. So we had Veromotion had 2 wheels in their booth. Cube Controls had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had 12.
Damn.
From recalling. The next place over had 8. Then we go into... Are you keeping track of the numbers, or...?
No, I lost track already.
Oh.
I was not aware there was going to be any math on the test.
Oh, okay.
I can try. You know me.
I mean, there was probably about... if you count everything to exclude the esport area, you probably had a good about 52 wheels. Yeah.
Okay. I'll buy that for sure. Like I said, my first thought was 100, but then I'm like, okay, there were a lot of duplicates. But I mean, everybody had wheel rims. I mean, and every, like you said, GSI alone, just getting you rolling. Cube Controls alone, getting you going. SimuCube has a bunch of different wheels they're doing. Fnatic was there with a bunch of different wheel rims as well. And then you had some that were like 3 or 4 here. I mean, VPG had a couple there running around with. I had 50, over 50 easily. Yeah.
But there was only... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and then you had the rigs, like the competition rigs. You had a lot of other rigs that were just using various different hardware. You had the Project Cars, had the Logitech, Moza was all over throughout the GTR section and a few other rigs out there. How many shifters? I mean, without even thinking about it, 10 to 12. Shifters weren't the big, but we saw the big fancy H pattern. Husingfeld had a couple variations.
Yeah, Moza had 2 of their shifters. Huskenfeld had 4 shifters. Simcraft had shifters on all their rigs. Who else?
Joe, I'll tell you what, Sim
Yeah.
Magic, there are 2 jobs if you're a company in sim racing. Either buy a booth or supply someone with your equipment and make it worthwhile enough that they pick your gear. So Moza did a great job because Moza didn't have an official booth, but they are all over this show. Fnatic had a huge booth and was Corsair had a very impressive booth and was well represented with their gear. All of the European ones that we've named, they were there with all of their stuff and so you had really good representation by a lot of companies. But then I'm thinking it's like, well, PXN was there, Turtle Beach was there, but I honestly at one point was like, I think I saw one Sim Magic setup.
Yeah.
One?
Yeah. Honestly, like talking about shifters, I was actually pretty impressed with the Turtle Beach H pattern shifter. I don't know if you actually got to play around with it a little bit.
I did.
It actually felt pretty good for like a budget entry level, setup what Turtle Beach is known for. Like, I want to say their budget. I mean, they had their entry and then they had their probably like mid-range wheel, but their shifter actually felt pretty good. Surprising, I was like, that was the first thing I saw. Like, ooh, let me go play around with it, and yeah, it actually felt pretty decent.
Yeah. The most expensive setup. There were 3 rigs there that it's hard to put a price on, but I'm guessing they're all over $100 grand. You had the Force Dynamics Spider in the Fnatic booth. You had the what?
Oh no, you're good. No, I was just looking at one of the comments. Yeah.
What was the Avila? I can never remember their name. The Aviva, the other one.
They were using but they were
Apavy.
using Cubics. They were using Cubics Spider system.
Okay, that's Apavy, who is a reseller, was using the Cubics. Yeah. And that one at the front easily was $100,000 setup, is my guess. And then the Simcraft Apex 6. You didn't drive that, did you?
No, I didn't get time to, but the guy told me how much it cost. Yeah.
Over $100 grand there too, like
160,
40,
140 plus. Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that rig. That Simcraft Apex 6. It's so huge though. Like it's like there's a problem. Like if you're a super duper rich guy, I think it would have to be more about driving experience than putting something in your game room to impress your friends. It's really impressive in terms of it's so gigantic and it's like obviously a big deal, but it's also like kind of not flashy compared to having like the Apavy with big monitors where it's very visual, or the Cubic I should say, or the Spider, where they're very visual. The Simcraft was not visual because it was so tucked into its cage that like there was, it was just not as impressive looking, not as much shock and awe look, but the driving experience was amazing and I did get to drive it. But yeah, there are legitimately three over $100,000 setups there. And then there's the flight sim setup, which I don't even want to play with the numbers on that one. That would have been. I don't even think it had motion, but the amount of effort they put in building that cockpit, they could just charge stupid money for it.
Oh yeah.
Plus that crowd is well paid, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Well, if they're going for that level of realism. All right.
Yeah. Who was it? Tom asked a question. Let me find it. He says, Sean or Amir, are you over trying different motion systems? I assume once you try one, they are all pretty much the same.
No.
You tried more than me, so you can explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I tried a bunch at the show, and I would have happily have driven the ones that I didn't get a chance to drive. I really like trying different motion sims because they do actually all drive differently. And they do it in a couple of different reasons and ways. If you take two almost identical type of movement, like they're both that 6-post, hold the whole pad in the air 6-post, which is basically a mini Delara or a mini Cruden, right? If you take one of those, you'll see like 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 companies make one like it. But it then comes down to the actuators and their speed, because it's not just speed one direction, it's speed reversal, it's their ability to reverse direction. There are a lot of factors that make one actuator better than another, which will affect the pricing and the quality of the experience. And then also its interpretation. It's on the sim manufacturer to then deal with those input or output signals and turn it into the experience you get. And that can make a huge difference, because sometimes it's in the mind of the scientist, the man behind the design and what he feels it should be. Sometimes they bring somebody in specifically for that. Sometimes they hire real life drivers, thinking, hey, well, this is what we want. So the interpretation can make them feel quite different. The other thing is you start learning and just kind of formulating that whole thought, like, is traction loss the most important of all the motions? That's one question. By adding more motions, you guys have heard me talk about the symphony of our parts. And every time I add another layer of immersion, no matter what it is, sometimes it means I can tone down how much other things are doing. Like if you add haptic pedals, you can stop putting vibration in your motion sim. So all these things are factors that really do change the experience. And the other is, and I'll shut up, but how much? How much is it costing to get those experiences? I mean, I don't have $160,000. So can I get there for 10? Can I get there for 5? That's the question, because that's maybe more realistic to most of us. Joe asked about the Vero motion. We
both tried it, yeah.
Considering the footprint of that design, I really, really liked and appreciated things about it. Because again, I talk about having an amount of money. It wasn't over the top expensive. Not even close to cheap either. But it wasn't over the top. I mean, I think it was 18 for the top model. And working down from there. Really small footprint, which means you can put it in your sim room if you're not dedicating an entire room to this thing. Really good reaction time, and they spent a lot of time dialing it in. So when I talk about who does it right, I think those guys are on the right path of instead of trying to shock and awe the crowd with massive movement, they were keeping it really refined into the type of feedback that a stiff race car would really give you.
I don't, and this is just a general overall comment. I talked to a couple people that tried all the different motions out there, and almost every single one was talking about how at this expo most of the motion systems were going more for realism than actual shock and awe, which kind of it shocked me a little bit, because you tried 3 different motion systems, I tried 2, and they all felt super, super nice. It was the first time I've gotten to different motion systems where they weren't dialed up to 12, and it was just no, we want you to get an accurate feeling of how it feels in a car. That's how we've dialed our systems. It wasn't you're going to a carnival and they're just trying to destroy your back, shoulders, neck, and every bone in your whole body.
Not only were the Sims, and that's a great point. That's a great observation, Amir. I've done a lot of trade shows, trade shows, and this was the most dialed in that respect. This was a trip for sim racers by sim racers kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And so everything was more dialed in, which made the project motor racing even more atrocious, by the way. And Turtle Beach a little bit too. Theirs were a little out of whack at times. But it was also from the perspective of the exhibitor. So I've worked a lot of trade shows. I'll give you a great example. Even PRI, Performance Racing Industries, trade show for the race car industry. You would think you'd have this concentration of really skilled drivers coming through, right? It's a racing specific trade show. But no, a lot of those people don't actually race. They just make parts. So no, it's a general public show and people suck. I would imagine that as a ride operator for any of the rigs, because they usually have to have somebody kind of overseeing things, this was the easiest because consistently people were getting in and knew how to drive, knew how to tow back to the pits. You didn't have to give them a whole refresher course. You just let them turn loose and perform. So I think it was a little bit unusual in that respect, which was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And that was just the overall census when I talked to people. Everybody was like, "Holy crap! All these motion sims are set up great." Like nobody was complaining about how bad they were set up. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here is the Cube Controls Astra. This is their affordable. They had a $399 and a $499 version.
Yes.
And we're talking about a company where I think their cheapest wheel was over 1,000 before. I think maybe 800. I don't. I'm kind of going by memory here. But yeah, that was like I said, the impact, the Moza PXN Turtle Beach impact on our industry.
And it's a super nice rim. We both played around with it a little bit. And the only difference is like the construction of some of the knobs and the buttons that makes the price difference. Everything else is pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Know how to drive or know how to turn it, or know how to get to the pits. You can't be both. Captain Speedy, there was no R25 at the show. Nope. The new Ultra Moza is not there. So, and then let's see. Overtake. We got to meet the Overtake guys. We didn't mention them.
Oh, such fun guys.
Yeah. Really cool. You know, this gets back to somebody asking me earlier about Inside Sim Racing. You know, we're all just doing the same thing, and sometimes we get caught up in, who's bigger, who got this, who got that, right? Reality is we're all doing the same thing, and we're all really good guys. I didn't meet not one of the YouTubers, if this is going to ruin it for you, not one of the YouTubers I met wasn't a cool guy. Every single one of them was cool. Everyone lived up to the name and reputation that I had witnessed from them online, and that was great too. Because that's what I always hope when people meet me, that I am me, right? Oh, you're the dude. Like, I thought, and it's like, no, that I am just me, and I just felt everyone, like, we have a really sincere, content creator group. There's no full of it. There's no persona. Everyone was just who they were. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, it was great. Yeah, it was fun because, like, sitting down, like, I've talked to Michael a couple times throughout some of the expos, but, like, it was great because we were chatting with him. He was like, yeah, if you guys want to do collaborations or if you guys want to review products, like, let us know. Like, we'll send you stuff to do reviews. And then you and Renee sitting there comparing, like, who started covering sim racing first, you or him? And you guys were like going through all the dates and details, like, yeah, I did this. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. I think you came out on top, but and I just realized, like, Renee, he lives like 30 minutes away from me. Like, he actually comes to the city next to where I live at, plays baseball. So, like, I think this Sunday we're gonna go watch him play baseball. Yes.
Yeah. Hinch, we need to do so the content creator race. Oh, at the expo. Yes, we'll need to do that one. We were going to do the competitive race. We were working our way to get into it, but we knew we had conflict. So, racing for us at that show might be tricky. By the way, there was one opportunity, and in our crew, Sam, you were there for it, but they kept it open and let the content people go get on the sims, but quite honestly, we were all so hungry and tired. There was no real time to do it at that point, so it really didn't happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was gonna say with X Driver, no, like this Sim Gaming Expo, that was Creators for Creators Expo. Like, I mean, we mentioned it throughout the show and some of the stuff, like everything that was getting done there at the expo, that was like George, like working with a lot of different content creators. Like, you had, he invited all the different content creators to, to come up with panel ideas. So we volunteered to do 4 different panels. You had Hyperion Racing, like that graphic that you see there, like on the main screen, like they made the graphics for the for the Sim Gaming Expo. And this was just like George reaching out to a lot of the content creators, trying to gather ideas, opinions on things, and putting it all together. It wasn't like, I mean, I'm not trying to trash the Sim Racing Expo. I'm not trying to trash them all because they do put on a really great show, but they take really no. They don't really contact people to say, hey, how about this? How about that? They do their own thing. Whereas this one, George was very, very open to ideas and getting people to help him out and put the show together. So I would say this is like a community, expo for the community. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So, and then there's an article here from Overtake interviewing George about his thoughts coming off of the show. So I haven't had a chance to read it, but I'm definitely going to read through that and see what he had to say. And look forward to talking to him in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all the news. I mean, I have some rally results.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this. I don't, rallies are 6 stages.
You had a rough you had a rough day yesterday.
I had a great.
I was watching a little bit.
I was doing really well through the first 4 stages. I felt like I was like having a good rally day, and I was driving well. And then the 5th stage, it just all went wrong.
You too, Mike. Mike Sim Racing 604.
Mike,
You guys think I'm tall? If me standing next to Mike from Sim Racing 604, I felt like Sean standing next to me.
yeah,
Like...
Mike's a big dude.
But another super sweet, super nice guy, man. If you guys don't watch his stuff, stuff, follow him. He's a great dude, great person. We met and get to hang out with a little bit of time. Does great content. So yeah.
I'm just gonna say though,
give him a shout out.
Before you go, if you're planning on going to Sim Expo next year, before you go putting any negative comments on Mike's content, I'd think twice. No, I'm kidding. He was like literally the nicest person I've ever met.
Yes.
Mike, it meant everything getting to meet you. I don't know if you're here for the beginning, but yeah.
He's a big teddy bear. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here are the rally results. Hawk Solo, who is our new threat to the series. Hawk Solo, top time at 23:23. Jeff SMKU, our reigning champ, 23:24. So it's close. It's close up there at the front. Os Quadzilla, another new driver, sitting P3. Alesh Mom, P4. I Nowak in 5th. David S., PS Deadman, Max Power, Sporkamick, and Vintage Dude round out the top 10. Heiko, Dirge, SVT, Lacote, and I'm in 15th, and I only beat one person, that being Tim Spatial Dragon. So at least I beat you, Tim. Sorry. He beat me in the points last year. And here's a good look at the points. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but Hawk Solo on top, Jeff SMKU, second, Caractus in 3rd. So we've already moved on to week 3, or round 3 in the Simpit Rally League. And if you want to check it out, best way, hit / Discord. It'll give you a link to our Discord channel. We have threads or channels for our Road League, for our Could Be Oval League, for our Rally League, and you can get information on how to join them. And or you can find us on RaceNet under the Simpit, and it's a very fun rally, and we still have 7 more stages to go, or rallies to go, so lots to get in on the action there. That's really my last thought. I'm sure we didn't cover a lot because there's so much to talk about, but I think we did a nice combination of Sim Expo and Sim News and doing our normal coffee and BS and everybody.
Yeah. My last thought is we're still doing our preseason iRacing Road Series. We've got 2 more rounds to go. This week is going to be... Oh my gosh, I'm going to mess this up. I got to go to our Discord and double check. My brain is still a fog, man. I'm trying to catch up on so many things. Yeah, we're racing at Algarve. Yeah, we're racing at Algarve this weekend. So if you want to be part, this is going to lead into our actual road series. That's going to start up right after our preseason. Yeah, 2 more rounds, then we'll get into our real racing series. Now I got to start building that out since iRacing released their schedule. But if you want to race with us, just join our Discord and let me know you want to race on our Racing Super Formula Lights. And we're going to be following the iRacing schedule so to make it a lot easier for people to practice throughout the week and everything. So if you want to join, race with us, just shoot me a message saying, hey, I want to race, and I'll get you added to our leagues.
And I will be sitting here watching the door, looking for a delivery of a built PC.
You might be racing your new PC this Sunday.
I might be.
Yeah.
You never know. That would be a little quick. It went out yesterday. I don't think it'd get here that quick.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know, man.
UPS does hit me on Saturday. So,
Yeah.
So it's possible. But certainly by the next rally, that one for sure. So anyway, it's hard for me to turn on that computer. I ran a rally yesterday and it was not fun. Being on that computer was like, oh, this, how do I do that? How do I even sit here like this knowing that that's on the way?
Right.
So anyway, very exciting week ahead for me. So I'm looking forward to it. Other than that, get out there, do some sim racing, have a great weekend. Be sure to check out the Simpit Discord, get involved. Give us a thumbs up if you like the show, if you're having fun. Share the show with others so we can grow this community, because the more we grow it, believe me, it comes back in return, because the more we'll be able to do for all of you out there. So spread the word, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, for next week's news, everything going on in sim racing. That's going to do it for today. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole. That's Amir Assad. And we will see you on the track.
Later, guys.
Thank you.